Greetings everyone and welcome to week 4 of Internship 1. I cannot believe that we are almost halfway finished. I hope that our video this week will help you with all of this week's assignments. Let's get started. You really have 3 assignments this week. The first one is weekly reflection number 3, a video assignment, and textbook assignment number 3. I also want to remind you that we have a seminar coming up at the end of week 4. Because you have already written the first 2 reflections, you're probably already getting the hang of it. The first question of each reflection is for you to list the objectives. As we progress into each week's reflections, we want to be more in depth with our responses. Instead of simply going through the motions and repeating previous answers and making this a daunting task or a mundane task, I want us to grow in our responses. The first question is the objectives. So list the standards or the objectives that you plan to teach or that you taught that week. I want you to ask yourself this week, are these objectives on schedule for these students? Am I behind schedule? Am I ahead of schedule? And are they truly the most appropriate objectives that I should be teaching? Another thing to consider with the response on number 2 for the data assessment is how are you assessing the data? Are you using weekly quizzes, chapter tests? Are you using formative or summative assessments? Begin explaining that to us in your response for the second question in the reflection. If you are consistently assessing your students in the same way, for instance, you're only gathering data from exit tickets or from formative assessments, try to assess your data in a different way this week. See if you have different results. In the response to question number 3, it is asking you, what are you going to do to improve your instruction? Sometimes when we look at the data and we see that there are certain students that are passing or certain students that are on the appropriate point, the appropriate check mark for this, we say, okay, there's nothing else that I need to do. Or maybe we see that our students are failing and we know that we need to do something, but we're not sure what. For this question number 3, instead of repeating any previous answers, I want you to dig deep into your soul and I want to ask yourself, what are you going to do to improve your instruction? And then, are you actually going to do it? Make it something measurable and meaningful that will help your instruction. The last item number 4 asks you, what concerns do you have about this week's reflections? And I want you to ask yourself, is this the last time that you're going to consider this concern? Or are you, like on number 3, going to do something about those concerns? Maybe for item number 4, you want to continue writing about your concern for item number 4 from last week. The second half of item number 4 asks you to share with us celebrations from this week. Remember to make this response different from weeks before. And then also, are you sharing these celebrations with your students? If you're celebrating that you didn't have behavior problems or that the majority of your class accomplished their goals for this week, share that information with your students so that they can know that you truly felt that that was a reason for celebration. Video assignment this week is a rather large assignment, so you have to plan ahead to get this completed before Sunday night. If you wait until the weekend to do this assignment, you will not have a chance to video your students and review that video. The first step is to plan which of the classes you are going to record. Remember, it is not illegal to record students. You do not have to send home permission slips to record them because you are using this for educational purposes. It will not be shown to anyone in the public setting. We don't even really plan to watch it here unless we find that there's a problem. You are videoing this so that you can watch it for yourself and evaluate your own teaching. You should be doing this regularly. Even after the internship, you should be recording yourself, listening to the way you talk, watching the way you stand. Our athletes record practices all the time. We record games. We go back and watch it to create new strategies. Our musicians record rehearsals and go back and listen to them all the time. Teach your students that this is part of the process to learn how to be a better teacher. If you choose to record just yourself, you can put a laptop in front of you so that it is recording you the whole time as you walk around and teach your students. Or you might have a recorder in your class who is actually recording the back of the students' heads, if that would make you feel better as you teach. We do not need the students' names. We do not plan to share this video with anyone, and you do not need special permission in order to record this class. The first thing that you're going to do is plan which class and then which lesson you plan to teach for this assignment. Then you're going to teach the lesson and record it. You can upload this to a private YouTube channel because that is a place that you can put a recording to get a link. Once you have a link, you can always access that without having to save the video. It is almost impossible to upload videos in Canvas because of the amount of space that they require. So the only reason that we are using YouTube is just to get a link. And again, once that information is private, you said it is private, only you can go back to your channel, and then of course anyone that you share that link with. So the next step is going to be for you to go back and watch the recording. Remember, the recording is not for us. The recording is for you to watch yourself. We want you to see yourself teaching before we come and watch you teach. So you're going to teach the lesson, record it, and then go back and watch the lesson. You want to watch what you're doing. Now pull out the TIAI rubric. This is in Canvas. It is something we're going to be talking about at the seminar this Saturday, and it is the actual rubric that your supervisor is going to use when he or she comes to observe you teaching. Your mentor teacher is going to use the same rubric. So before anyone else evaluates you, you need to evaluate you. So take that template out, pretend that you are the instructor from the university, watch your video, and give yourself a very honest rating. Look at all the indicators. In order to get a 3, it tells you in the expanded version what is required. Pretend like you do not know yourself and give yourself an honest rating. The points that you will receive for this assignment have nothing to do with your rating. They have nothing to do with your video. They have everything to do with your ability to evaluate yourself. So if our supervisors see that you have given yourself lots of comments and fair, honest ratings, don't feel that you have to give yourself all 3s just to make a good grade on this assignment. Don't feel that you have to give yourself all 0s or 1s in order to make a good grade on this assignment. We want to see that you are honestly evaluating your own teaching and providing comments. Once you are ready to finish this assignment, you are going to submit the document that includes your ratings, your comments, and of course the link to Canvas. We do want access to the link in case we have questions about something that you have written on your comments or some type of evaluation, so that if we have to discuss that with you, we can go back and access that video as well. I will be sending out a template that you can use for this assignment that will help you. If you want to get started early before you get that template, you can just use the TIAI rubric that is provided for you in Canvas. Each week, you have been asked to complete a textbook assignment. For this 3rd textbook assignment, we are demonstrating our ability to differentiate our instruction. The first textbook assignment, we ask you to read the textbook and write a summary. The 2nd textbook assignment, we ask you to make a list in bullets or by numbers of facts that you learned from the textbook. For this textbook assignment, we are going to be using the platform of a discussion board. I want to remind you that we are showing you this example so that you can also differentiate your instruction in your classroom. Instead of repeating the same assignments in the same way, change them up to accomplish the same goal. For this discussion board, I want you, instead of just giving your opinion about the topic, to refer to information from the textbook about this topic. It's very easy to find all throughout our textbook. And then I want you to also comment on other discussions from the members in your class. Remember to adhere to FERPA laws if you are going to refer to a student in your class or a certain issue with a parent or student. Do not include names and specifics about that student so that we don't have the information that we're not supposed to have. Another thing I want to caution you about is that there are sometimes people in the class who are well-meaning, who might include information about what they would do or make suggestions on what you should do. And I want you to remember that you take that advice with a grain of salt and you make sure that you are following the correct information that you should be. Just because someone is in the class and they make suggestions does not mean that that suggestion is accurate. So be very careful when you're following information from other teachers or other students who might be well-meaning but not necessarily have the correct information. Finally, I'm excited to get to see you all again on Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to noon for seminar number 2. Unlike seminar number 1, this seminar is going to be virtual. During this seminar, we are going to explain all 25 indicators of the TIAI in depth. We're going to tell you what you need for each indicator to be successful during your observation. We are going to describe professional dispositions and how you can apply that to your classroom. And we are going to explain the upcoming assignment called Impact on Student Learning, and again, how you can be successful with that. Our seminar is through a link for Microsoft Teams. If you do not yet have Microsoft Teams, you can go ahead and download that app so that you will be on time for the seminar. It is from 9 a.m. to noon. We will hold you that whole time with a break in between. And remember, there are no excused or unexcused absences in graduate courses. So you are either able to attend or you are not able to attend. The instructors will have a downloaded roster of what time you showed up, what time you left. You are asked to keep your camera on and our mics will be muted. And then there will be an assignment that you have to turn in after the seminar to demonstrate that you were engaged throughout the seminar. Here's a little hint. It's important to not be distracted because I will be giving you guided answers that you will have to include in your summary from the seminar so that our instructors will know that you are giving it 100% of your attention and your engagement. If you have any questions or need anything here from us, you know where to find us. I hope you have a great week 4, and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday.